Okay. Today we'll do some numerical problems on the chapter speed of sound, wave speeds and wave properties on that. Example 35-3 of page 605. Compute the velocity of sound in nitrogen at 27 degrees Celsius. Relative molecular mass of nitrogen is given 28. Okay. Temperature is given. Temperature theta is given 27 degrees Celsius. Relative molecular nitrogen is given here. Nitrogen is given with the relative RMM. RMM is given 28. We have to find the speed of sound in nitrogen. In the gas nitrogen, we have to find. What is the formula of the speed of sound? We check. This formula of speed of sound is, I gave the formula, no, gamma P by D. This is the formula. Okay, P stands for pressure, D means P by rho I write, no, P by rho. Density I denote by rho. You can denote by D also, it's the same thing. P is pressure. Is pressure given? No. What I will do, I'll change the formula, that is P I'll keep as it is. Density value I'll write mass by volume, like this. This V will come up. It will become gamma PV by M. In gas law, we have formula PV is equal to nRT. This is actual formula, where R is called molar gas constant, universal molar gas constant. If we take 1 mole, N value is 1 mole, so then PV will be equal to RT. So here, instead of PV, I will write RT, gamma RT by M. Okay, gamma means adiabatic constant. The value of gamma is 1.41 for diatomic gas. M stands for mass, and R is universal gravitational constant. The value of R is also available, 8.31 in SI unit, 8.31, the value of R. The value of R will take 8.3 or 8.31 we can take. If I put the value here now, see the answer is coming. Gamma value I put 1.41, R value is 8.31. T means absolute temperature. We will change this temperature into absolute. How do we change into absolute temperature? Plus 273, no? We will do plus 273. Then capital T value will come 27 plus 273. It will come 300 Kelvin. 300. Mass is given 28. Relative molecular mass is always expressed in terms of gram, but we change in SI unit, which is kg. So 28 gram will be how much kg? 28 into 10 to the power of minus 3, changing in kg. That means you are dividing by 1000. Now calculate it using calculator and find the value of V. If you use calculator and calculate the value of V, it will come 353.3 as given in the book. 353.3 meters per second. This is the answer. This will be the answer. Okay. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir. So, but what
Example 30-4. Tell me.
R, so what
Yes,
is
yes. R is called universal gravity, molar gas constant. Molar gas constant. R is known as, capital R is known as molar gas constant. About this, you will be studying in thermodynamics also. After finishing this chapter, we will go back to the heat chapter. No, there also you will learn. And in chemistry also you do it. Chemistry also you learn, I suppose. Next question is 35-4. Example 35-4. At what temperature will the velocity of sound through oxygen be same as through nitrogen at 20 degrees Celsius? Okay, velocity of sound is same they are saying. Oxygen is 8 by 7 times denser than nitrogen. They are saying that. Oxygen is 7.78 by 7 times. So we know the formula. One is oxygen, other one is given nitrogen. There are two different gases, and their question says the speed of sound is equal. Temperature of speed of sound in nitrogen at how many degrees Celsius? 20 degrees Celsius. You have to find the temperature. What should be the temperature value here? Theta value should be how much here? That you have to find. When the sound is traveling through the oxygen, what should be the temperature? So that the two speeds are equal. What is the formula of speed? We know formula of speed. Two different things are there. So I like a gamma R3 by M. Velocities are same they are saying. So that's it. Two cases I like like this. Gamma R T1 by M1 equal to other case gamma R T2 by M2. Gamma value is same. R is also constant. These two we can cancel. Remove the square root, we get T1 by M1 is equal to T2 by M2. Put the value. This is oxygen, this is nitrogen. T1 we have to find. M1, what is the mass of this one? 16 to the, or question only has given. Let us say, denser they are saying oxygen is 8 by 7 times. This is 8 by 7 times of this. I like it 8 by 7 times. T2 is given 20 degrees Celsius. Will change in Kelvin. This will be how much Kelvin then? 20 plus 273. This is the value of T2. 293 is coming. I write that T2 value 293 upon 1. If this is 1 unit, this is 8 by 7 units. Now calculate the answer. Now T1 value will come 8 by 7 times of 293. Calculate the answer. So this answer will come 334.9. 334.9 Kelvin will change back into degree Celsius. Therefore, theta value will come 334.9 minus 273. And now you find the answer. The answer will come 61.9 degrees Celsius. 61.9 degrees Celsius. Okay? Check and tell me. Yes. All right. Okay. Done. Say fast. Okay, no. Voice.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next question. This example 35-5. The speed of sound in air at 0 degrees Celsius is 331 meters per second. At what temperature will the speed be 662 meters per second? That is, the speed is becoming double. At what temperature? Air, they have not mentioned two different gases. I'll use direct formula, right? That is V1 by V2 is equal to directly write T1 by T2. Speed of sound is directly equal to the square root of absolute temperature or the temperature. So we write like this. V1 is 331, this is 662, that means V2 is double of this. You can write even ratio 1 by 2 also you can write. T1, first temperature is given 0 degrees Celsius, that means how much? Kelvin 273. T2 is to 5, yeah. Cancel 1 and 2. Squaring both the sides, you get 1 by 4 is equal to 273 by T2. Therefore, T2 value will come 4 into 273. And now calculate the answer. This answer comes in Kelvin, change in degree Celsius. The answer in Kelvin is coming 1092. 1092 Kelvin. Therefore, theta value will come, temperature will be 1092 minus 273. The answer in degree Celsius is coming 819, 819 degrees Celsius. That is the speed of sound in a particular medium will double at this temperature. If the initial temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. I think done. You can try some questions yourself. Go through some MCQs also by yourself. You can do it now. In the meantime, I can just tell you which numbers to try at home. Okay. Try number 5, 6, homework 5, 6, 7.
So page number.
Page number 610, 610. 5, 6, 7, 8. This question is try, huh? Try this one and then this chapter is done, huh?
Yes, sir.
So we should start new chapter then. Chapter number 36. Superposition of waves, interference and beats. Okay. Should we start? Okay. The name of the chapter is, we are starting new chapter number 36. Superposition of waves. 1 is given here. Give the heading superposition. Superposition of waves. There are two parts to it. Superposition of waves has got first part. Two topics you have to do: interference and beats. We can call it part 1, first part, superposition of waves, part 1. And then there is another part 2, which is stationary waves. That is also due to superposition only, but that makes another chapter here in your book. So first we are doing this one, superposition of waves. What is called superposition? Superposition means, mixing of the waves. We are combining two waves. When we combine the two waves, having the displacement y1 and y2, there are two waves, two or more waves, combination of two or more waves is called superposition. And the two waves are having the displacement y1 and y2. Suppose there are two waves having displacement y1 and y2. When they are combined together, when they are put up together, they will result, at a point they will result in a third wave. Two waves will be combining together to form a single wave. We will get a resultant wave. The resultant displacement of the wave formed due to combination will be given by this equation. Y is equal to vector. Y is equal to y1 plus y2. This equation is called principle of superposition. Principle of superposition. Principle of superposition. What is the meaning of superposition? Superposition is mixing, combining. You are combining or mixing the two waves. Then principle of superposition says that the displacement of the resulting wave will be equal to the vector sum of the displacement of the individual waves. This equation is called principle of superposition. Have you understood? Say fast. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes, yes.
so I am
Tell
having
me.
network issues, sir. I may have to discontinue anytime.
Okay, okay. You will watch the recording, huh? In case you miss out, then you will watch the recording. Huh? If question comes now, what is principle of superposition? Instead of, if you don't write the statement, but if you just write this equation, y equal to y1 plus y2, it's okay. You will get marks. Full marks only will come.
Okay,
And
sir.
principle of superposition is what actually the principle of mixing two waves. Principle of mixing the two waves. Okay. Now we have three phenomena related to superposition. Three things happens. Three things happens with the superposition. First one will be interference. I talk about interference. The second thing happens is beats, and the third thing will be called formation of stationary waves. Three things are there. So about two of them you have to know in this part one, and about the stationary wave you have to know in the next chapter as per your book. So there are three phenomena. The superposition of principle of superposition gives rise to. So they are interference, beats, and stationary waves. So principle of superposition I have written here, y equal to y1 plus y2. Now, what is called interference? I have this, okay? Now, give the heading interference. Interference of waves. Interference of waves. Interference of waves. Write down. The superposition of two waves. The superposition of two waves having a constant phase difference or no phase difference
So constant wave difference then?
constant phase difference or no phase difference or no phase difference, constant phase difference or no phase difference, resulting in the formation of of maxima and minima, maxima, maxima, maxima and minima, minima is called interference of waves. Okay. Understood, boys, what I said?
Yes,
You
sir.
can understand me. Just understand. Suppose we are having two waves. One wave is shown like this way. And the another wave is shown like this. Okay. We are superposing them. That is, we are adding them. We are combining them. Can you guess what will be the answer? What is the answer coming? I'm sure this is going up, this is going down. These two will cancel off each other. This is down, this is up. They are in opposite phase. The angle between these two is 180 degrees. They are exactly in the opposite direction. One is upward, the other one is downward. One is downward, then this is upward. Exactly the opposite is happening here. I'll just take this one. Till here only. Three waves, I mean 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like that. I'm sure these two amplitude will become now zero. Here the amplitude becomes zero here, like this. Zero, zero. That means the third wave will, by combining these two, this is a wave generated and the amplitude of this wave will be zero because they will actually cancel off each other. This is called minima. How many, we are getting amplitude zero here, like that. So we are getting a series of minima, amplitude, that is zero amplitude here in this case. A, this is also A, amplitudes are same. Then we get exactly the resulting amplitude becomes zero. Now, if we have one more wave of the same type, when we are getting minima, this is called destructive interference. Destructive interference. We call it destructive interference. That means these two are destroying each other. They are destroying, the two waves are exactly destroying or cancelling off each other. So such an interference is called destructive interference. But by chance, if the amplitudes are not same, this is A1, this is A2. Suppose A1 is bigger, then this will have this minus this, then your resulting wave will have the amplitude smaller like this way. Smaller, like this, smaller. Subtraction. This is 4 units, this is 3 units. Then this will become 1 unit. But this is also a way of minimizing, I mean reducing the amplitude. This is also minima only, but the minima is not having zero amplitude. It may have zero amplitude, it may not have. But the value will be less. The two values will be less. I mean, they are trying to minimize each other. But now the two waves are exactly like this. Just see, two waves are exactly in this direction, same direction like this. This way, they are in the same phase, we call it same phase or same direction like this, same phase, like this, same phase. Like this, same. I suppose amplitude also same here, A and A. This time what will happen? Can you guess? What will happen? When you combine this together, the same direction, the two amplitudes are added up. And the resulting amplitude, the resulting wave will have the amplitude more. Amplitude is increasing now here like this. This is A, so this will become 2A, this will become 2A. If they are same, this is also 2A, like that. 2A. So we find that the amplitude is increasing at certain points. Here the amplitude, here the amplitudes are increasing. And this, we are getting the amplitude increasing, that is called maxima. Point of maxima here, and so many. So it all depends upon the angle or the, phase difference. We call it phase difference between the two waves. If they are in the same phase means having phase difference 0, then we'll obtain maximum. And if they are in opposite phase is opposite direction, that is 180 degrees, we'll get minima. And minima is shown. And the phenomenon of obtaining maxima and minima due to superposition, due to mixing of the two waves, is called interference. Such an interference in which we get maxima is called constructive interference. Constructive interference. So when does a destructive interference take place? When angle between the two waves is how much degree? What did you learn? Tell me. When do we have destructive interference? Then when do we have minima octants? When do we have? At what
Opposite
angle?
wave.
What is the phase angle? Huh? How much? Say, you're right only. Say no, once again. I could not hear properly. Say. 180 degree, no, they are in opposite direction. When they are in opposite direction, 180 degree, so they will give destructive interference, minima. And when they are in the same phase, they will give maxima. Amplitude may be equal, may not be equal. If the amplitudes are equal, the amplitude of the resulting wave will become 2A, simple addition. If this is A1, this is A2, suppose this is 3 units, this is 4 units, this will become 7 units. But so such an interference in which the amplitude has increased is such an interference is called constructive interference, and we call it maxima. And when they destroy each other or they reduce each other, the amplitudes are reduced. We call it destructive interference and minima. So today we do this much, and next class we'll continue with this topic. Okay. And this topic is short only; it will be over tomorrow, and then we start new one. Okay. Thank you, boys. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Sir.